Let me tell you a strange little story. Not about war or miracles, just about a jacket and a letter. And a woman who never wore it. I met her on a Thursday. The kind of Thursday where the sun forgets to shine and people pretend not to need umbrellas. She walked into the old thrift bookstore where I worked. Not to buy a book, but to return a jacket. "Excuse me," she said, placing the navy blue coat on the counter. "I bought this 2 years ago. Never wore it. Never could. Odd, right?" Returns weren't exactly accepted after 730 days. But her voice there was something in it. A tremble, a story begging to come out. I looked at the jacket. It was beautiful. Heavy, woolen, a bit too elegant for a bookstore clerk like me. "May I ask why you're returning it?" She smiled, half smile, half sigh. "Because it belonged to a man I never met." Now I was curious. So, as she stood there, under flickering yellow light, she told me the story of the jacket. 2 years ago, she'd been invited to a wedding. Her cousins. She hated weddings, especially ones that reminded her she wasn't the bride, but she went. In the back row of that wedding was a man wearing this exact jacket. She never saw his face, the back of him. He sat alone. He left early. Later that night, at the hotel bar, she found the same jacket, abandoned on a chair. She picked it up to return it, but there was no one there. Inside, she found a letter, unsealed, addressed to the girl I hope I see again. She hesitated, of course, but then curiosity won. She read it. The letter wasn't long, but it was beautiful, funny, nervous, sweet. The man had written about a girl he saw during the wedding. Her. He described her laugh, her crooked heels, how she rolled her eyes during the vows. He had noticed everything. He even drew a doodle of her mismatched earrings. He wrote, "If you find this, and if you're her, well, I guess I'm hoping fate wears a navy blue jacket." She searched the hotel, asked around. No one knew the man. No one claimed the coat. So she kept it and wore it in private. Sometimes just hung it on the back of a chair, pretending he might come pick it up. Weeks passed, then months, then years. "I think it's time I let it go," she said, gently folding the sleeves. She was leaving town that day, moving to Italy to learn to paint again. The jacket. As she walked out, she paused by the door. "Keep the letter," she said. "It's better than most novels in here." That night, I took the jacket home, not to wear, but just to understand. I reread the letter and smiled. Then I noticed something new. In the inside pocket deep in the lining was a second letter, never opened, never meant to be found. This one wasn't addressed to the girl. It was addressed to me, to the bookstore clerk, to whoever found the second letter. It read, "If she ever returns this jacket, tell her I was too scared to talk to her, that I was supposed to, that I waited outside the bar, but saw her holding the letter, crying, and didn't know how to interrupt a moment like that. Also, ... Tell her I became a writer. I write stories like this now, but none as strange as the one where I fall for someone I never spoke to. If she's still single. My email is on the back." I blinked. I turned over the letter. There it was. A name, a contact, a chance. She hadn't left yet. It was still Friday morning. I emailed her. Subject: "The jacket wore fate." She replied 20 minutes later. Subject: "I'm still wearing it." They met. Of course, they did. In a train station cafe. He wore a red scarf. She wore the jacket for the very first time. They talked for hours. about the letter, about the almost, about what ifs. And somewhere between tea and laughter, they agreed that some stories don't need a perfect beginning. They just need someone brave enough to write the second chapter. And that, is the story of a jacket no one ever bought, and a love letter that found its homie